In countless videos, or from various sources, you've likely heard the advice to ignore someone if you want to regain their attention, care, or love. But what if that person means so much to you that no matter how hard you try, you find it impossible to ignore them? The moment they stand before you, your resolve crumbles, and you engage once again. In this video, we'll explore how to practice ignoring someone you love through the lens of Stoic philosophy. The reasons for doing so can vary. Perhaps you long for the love and attention that you're not receiving, or maybe you're seeking to distance yourself emotionally in order to regain your inner peace. But how do you ignore someone who holds such deep significance in your life? Someone for whom you'd sacrifice so much? If you're truly committed to learning this skill, watch until the end. By embracing Stoic principles, I promise that you'll become emotionally stronger and gain the clarity to distance yourself when needed, without compromising your inner harmony. Step 1. Clarify your reason for ignoring. The first step toward mastering emotional discipline is to identify a solid reason for why you wish to ignore the person. Often we act out of pettiness: they ignored me, so I'll ignore them, or other superficial motives. But weak reasons will crumble under pressure, and by the end of the day, you'll find yourself back where you started, entangled in the very emotions you're trying to escape. In Stoic practice, everything hinges on purpose. You must define a strong, rational reason for why this step is necessary. Perhaps you need to save the relationship, and you realize that constantly overgiving of your love, attention, and care leaves the other person taking you for granted. Absence, after all, can make the heart grow fonder. Or maybe you've recognized that the relationship has become toxic, and though you still love them, you understand that your peace of mind and well-being require distance. Stoicism teaches us to detach from things and people that disturb our inner tranquility. Your reason could also stem from an imbalance: you feel unvalued, or that their attention has drifted to someone else. Rather than creating drama, your decision to pull away is an act of self-respect, a reflection of the Stoic principle that we must not invest our happiness in things beyond our control. No matter the reason, it's essential to have clarity. Write down 5 or 10 key points on paper that explain why ignoring them is necessary. Writing forces the mind to internalize your purpose. It's not about impulsivity, but about understanding the actions you're taking. Whenever you feel tempted to reach out, these points will ground you in your decision, reminding you of why you began this path and motivating you to continue, even when emotions rise. Step 2. Setting boundaries. Most people falter here. Boundaries are essential yet frequently overlooked. Stoic wisdom reminds us to know our limits and set them wisely. If the person you're trying to ignore is part of your everyday environment at work, school, or college, you cannot avoid them completely. Full withdrawal would be impractical and might lead to awkwardness or unnecessary conflict. Instead, you must aim for balance. Keep the interactions cordial but shallow, avoiding personal or deep conversations that might reignite the emotional attachment you're trying to manage. If your connection is mainly online, consider muting or unfollowing them on social media. Limit your exposure to their updates and notifications to protect your emotional stability. Stoics often spoke of avoiding distractions to stay focused on self-improvement. This digital boundary will help you maintain your focus on yourself, rather than allowing external influences to pull you back into the emotional struggle. Step 3. Create distance. There's a key difference between setting boundaries and creating distance. Boundaries are about limiting your interaction. Distance, on the other hand, is about physically and emotionally separating yourself from the attachment. As the Stoics would remind us, our minds are shaped by the things we consistently expose ourselves to. If you continue to place yourself in situations where you'll be around the person, you risk rekindling the emotional conflict you're trying to avoid. Start by avoiding places or situations where you'll encounter them. Instead, engage in activities that foster your personal growth, whether it's learning a new skill, spending time with people who support you, or immersing yourself in creative or physical endeavors. Stoicism teaches that we have control over our actions, not over the actions of others. By creating physical distance, you gain emotional space to reflect, grow, and gradually weaken the emotional hold this person has over you. The path of detachment is not easy, but in creating this distance, you reinforce your own sense of self-reliance, which is central to Stoic thought. The ultimate goal is to be indifferent to external things, whether positive or negative, and by distancing yourself, you lessen their power over your peace of mind. Step 4. Shift your focus. The final and perhaps most vital step is to shift your focus inward. When you're in the process of ignoring someone, it's easy to fall into the trap of obsessively thinking about them or how you're not speaking to them. This is counterproductive. Instead of letting your mind be consumed by what you're avoiding, turn your attention to something more meaningful yourself. Stoicism is fundamentally about self-mastery. Instead of dwelling on the absence of the other person, use the time to invest in your own development. Cultivate new skills, improve your physical and mental well-being, and engage in activities that bring you closer to your personal goals. Marcus Aurelius often emphasized that a person's happiness depends on the quality of their thoughts. By shifting your focus from external distractions to internal growth, you not only free yourself from emotional turmoil, but also build a stronger foundation for future relationships. Remember, in Stoicism, the only thing you truly control is yourself, your actions, your thoughts, your reactions. So rather than spending your energy on someone who is not serving your higher purpose, focus on becoming the best version of yourself.